Movie posters used to be the coolest thing in the world. They're like those elevator speeches your dad would tell you about, where you only get like 15 seconds to pitch yourself to an employer. Except instead of having 15 seconds in an elevator, you only get one image that people will use to decide if they want to give your movie a shot. The two most important things a movie poster has to do is establish the tone and build intrigue about what the narrative will be. Here are some great posters that do this. The original Style A Star Wars poster. Where do you even start with this one? The huge cross showing the beam from Luke's lightsaber. The swarm of X-Wings zooming through space against the giant Death Star. And the huge imposing presence of Darth Vader in the background. All contribute to conveying the grand intergalactic journey that this movie is. Then, bam! Empire Strikes Back. The stronger use of the cool colors throughout. The sharp edges of the glaciers of Hoth. This dramatic image of Han and Leia looking at each other like it's their last time, which is actually paying homage to the classic Gone with the Wind poster, so it's communicating the emotion of a character longing for a loved one on a similar level, and Darth Vader being in the background still but most of his face obscured with just his eyes visible, shows his determination to strike back at the rebels. All of this shows that this movie is going to take a darker approach, with more consequences compared to the space adventure that people got last time. There are so many great posters from this period that we can't help but think of them when movies are just brought up. This is not happening anymore. Generally speaking, big-budget Hollywood movies nowadays have bad posters. They all look the same, it's just a headshot of whatever actor is in the movie. Sometimes, they don't even have to be in it for very much. They could literally just have 5 seconds of screen time and they can use that as the whole marketing drive. Sometimes they'll be looking up. Sometimes they'll just be looking straight at you. And sometimes, if you really want to spice it up, they'll look to the side. It will just be all the actors' headshots lost in a sea of photoshopped stuff. Like, whenever I think about this, I always find it funny just imagining the process for this. Like, for this poster, Chris Evans probably had to take a huge chunk out of his day, getting up out of his bed, getting in his car so he can go to the studio, having his stage makeup and hair done and getting into costume, all just so that he can stand in front of a green screen and look super serious in his Captain America costume. The best part of the classic posters was that they were all illustrations, so all the creative decisions were completely intentional and not limited to just how they would look on Google Images. In my opinion, this will always look better than this. This is just so ugly. And remember when I said that movie posters are supposed to take you into the movie? Well, what exactly can you tell me about Madame Web from this poster alone? What, that it has Dakota Johnson in it and it is about Madame Web? No, I don't want to sound too much like a hater, so I want to take this time to compliment some really amazing posters from recent movies. I think this poster for the Barbie movie is great, even though it is a photo of the actors. The framing of it teases the themes really well, and them being in a tangible set piece makes it look really interesting. Tar, Parasite, Batman, Poor Things, Anatomy of a Fall, Uncut Gems, Everything Everywhere All at Once. All of these recent movies have incredible posters that effectively establish the tone and motifs of the movie. I enjoy pointing out exceptions whenever I talk bad about something, because the last thing I want to be is one of those old people that just says, man, the stuff now is so bad, the stuff back in my day was way better, and it has nothing to do with survivorship bias or nostalgia. The moral of the story is, if you ever want to criticize something that is doing worse than the past, ask yourself why, and I promise you, you'll sound way more ahead of all these people at the nursing home.